Now, with coverage you can count on, you're watching Sports Extra.
It is the first Friday night of the season in girls basketball. We start our coverage with the Midland Chemics. Their core group almost the same as it was last year when they finished 19-3. And Midland kicks off its season against Bay City Western tonight. Thank you to these guys for hooking me up with the roster. I dare you to find a team that kicks off their season better than the Chemics. Crisp passing here leads to Tierra Carter's layup. Check out the scoreboard, folks. Midland jumps out to a 19-0 lead. With about 2 minutes left in the first, Western finally gets on the scoreboard thanks to Tiffany Sachowiak. But this one, all Chemics tonight. Clock going to wind down on the first quarter right here off the miss. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jennifer Jerema beats the buzzer. Midland goes on to win big 63-22. Two of the top teams from the Tri-Valley Conference last season meeting up tonight. Freeland at Valley Lutheran. Second half, Becca Schurting with a little razzle-dazzle spin move, left-hand finish. That's sweet, and the kids love it. I love their student section. Those kids have a good time. Later, Chargers get out and run. Sarah Appold to Trista Brownlee, and Valley Lutheran leads Freeland by 18 points. Freeland would try and get back in it. Tori Jankoska, no look to Kaylee Theriault, but they could not overcome the big deficit. Valley Lutheran wins 59-46. Ogama Heights way up north taking on Alpena. Ogama beating the press. Michaela Brindley gets the layup. Later they'll be against a zone in the half court. Skip pass to Chandler Deal. One dribble, jumper, got it. Not much else though going right for the Falcons tonight. They get doubled up on the road. 66-33. Vince Carter putting sanitizer all over his body. The Magic playing without 4 players tonight, including Dwight Howard. They're all out with a stomach virus. And in the first quarter, the sanitizer working for Carter like spinach for Popeye. He hits the fall away, had 25 points and 9 assists. Fourth quarter, Detroit still in the game, down a half dozen. Charlie Villanueva underneath. He scored 15 off the bench. But the Pistons must have thought Brandon Bass was sick too because they just didn't cover him. He'll hit the J, and then he'd be all alone underneath, hitting the layup and the foul. Bass with a career-high 27 points. Pistons lose 104-91. Flint's junior team, the Michigan Warriors, hosting Port Huron tonight. Great start for the home team. Patrick Gregory centers. Thomas McEachern taps it in, his second goal in 30 seconds. And like Brian Adams, McEachern all about making a night to remember. There he is in front with the hat trick in the first period. They would put on an offensive clinic. Andrew Cobb skating in, down in front, scores the goal. He had 2 on the night. Warriors crush the Falcons 8-2. Well, the OHL season is almost at the halfway point, and the Saginaw Spirit are in first in the Western Conference. I've talked to scouts and analysts across the league, and most of them agree that this is the most talented team in franchise history. The Spirit are on pace to shatter the franchise record for wins and points in a season. They also have a guy who many are calling the best to ever put on a Spirit uniform in Brandon Saad. He's got 20 goals in 27 games and could play in the NHL next season. Tomorrow night at the Dow Event Center, Saad and the Spirit welcome the conference's second-place team, the Owen Sound Attack.
Yeah, you know what, they're off to a good start this season, and them being in the Western Conference as well, it's going to be a good game, and we expect their best on Saturday, so we're going to have to come out strong.
Finally tonight, Rich Rodriguez under fire today for turning last night's season-ending football banquet into a personal "please let me keep my job" appeal. And at one point, he stopped his speech to wipe tears from his eyes, and then he closed the ceremony by having everyone hold hands and listen to Josh Groban's "You Raise Me Up." Critics are saying his actions showed weakness because a Michigan coach should not act like he did, but these comparisons to Bo, Lloyd, and all former U of M coaches need to stop because Rich Rod is not them. He's not going to be them. The problem isn't how he acted last night. The problem is that 3 years ago, he came to town doing things differently, and he has failed. He changed the football culture at U of M and has a record of 15-21 overall and 6-18 in the Big Ten to show for it. Most fans wouldn't care if he quoted Justin Bieber as inspiration as long as he won games. By the way, Even Groban slammed Rich Rod, saying on his Twitter feed, Coach Rodriguez, I'm very flattered, but crying to "You Raise Me Up" is so 5 years ago. Play welcome to the jungle. So Rich Rodriguez, though still Michigan's head football coach, and the athletic director David Brandon said he's going to be through the bowl game, which is looking like it's probably going to be January 1st.